Hi everyone! So to continue this inspirational series, I'm going to talk about passion, as I said in my previous video. I think everyone should be extremely excited to wake up every morning. Your purpose needs to really excite you. Like, it needs to be something that you think is important in life and that you are driven to do. The adults in our lives, I feel like, put limits on us and they create these boundaries and they kind of tell us, okay, if you don't do this and that, you can't go there. Or like, in order to be successful in this area, you need this. And those are all limits because in all honesty, there is no set prescription for anything in life. You know, if I want to learn how to fly, I don't necessarily have to follow one route. I can go to another country, I can do it differently. Your end goal doesn't necessarily have a set step sequence to achieving it. And the reason we think it does is because people tell us it does. And we think, okay, well, if I missed this one step, I can't go further because I missed this step. So I'll just set myself another goal. But the trouble is, you set yourself this goal for a reason. You know, you didn't just set it because you were bored one day. You know, whatever goal you set yourself, is obviously important to you, and so pursuing it is equally as important, and you can't just let one circumstance hinder you. It's all these success stories we hear about people who recovered from injury and then came back to, you know, Olympic level sport and did really well. Well, they could have just gone, oh well, I missed this one step, so, you know, I'm just gonna retire, you know, but they didn't. So what I'm saying is, your passion needs to be more powerful than your circumstances and more powerful than the people who tell you can't pursue it. If you want to be truly happy, you can't let, you know, people dictate what conditions you need to fulfill in order to pursue your passion. You can always pursue your passion, always. And the chances are you're passionate about more than one thing. So even if in your particular circumstances you find that it's just hard, not impossible, but just too hard for you and your family or whatever to pursue a certain passion, then there's always something else. You know, it's not like we're limited to one thing as human beings, but it's just you need to try and do your best to pursue the most authentic, you know, thing or job that you can do for this world, because we're all unique. I just want to talk a little bit about why it is that some people find it difficult to believe that they're good at something and to identify their passion. They just say that, oh, I just don't know what I'm good at. Like, I just don't know what I love doing. That just highlights the problem that we have in the world. Like, school subjects really limit you because you kind of believe that there are, okay, if you're doing like 9 GCSEs or whatever, you kind of believe, okay, there are 9 broad areas that I can go into, and then within those areas there are, you know, areas, and there's areas within those areas, but you kind of believe that life is like a tree, and this tree grows out of subjects, because at school you're taught that, okay, if you pick these GCSEs you'll be able to do these A-levels, and if you do these A-levels you'll be able to do the following degrees, because it all grows out of each other. And so you think, okay, well, if I'm not passionate about any one of those areas, then what passion do I have? Like, I'm not good at anything then. Which is completely not true, because you see, life is so much more than those 9 areas, or 11, or 15, or however many GCSEs you did. Life is so much, like, more than that. And there are many areas that aren't a subject. And they aren't even a subject area, because you see, subjects are academic, but they don't necessarily lead to career paths. So, one, people believe that, you know, okay, I'm not good at any of those areas, so I'm not good at anything, so I'm just not talented in any area. And secondly, they also think, okay, well, if I can't be good at any of those areas, then, okay, I'm good at, for example, watching TV or, you know, playing an instrument, but that's not a job. And parents will tell you this, like, what job is that? You know, if you're good at something, you'll be like, oh, mum, dad, like, you know, I'm good at this, and they'll be like, what job is that? And the trouble is, you don't know what job that is yet, because you haven't tried to look for a job, or you haven't identified how you can use your skills or whatever. So you're gonna say, I don't know, and they're gonna say, exactly, it's not a job. That's kind of the conversation, and then it's over and you're like, okay, I need to find something else that I can do. and you stop looking for things you're good at, you stop looking at things you love, and you start looking at things you can simply do. You start looking, okay, what can I actually do? Okay, I can do this, I'll do that then, because that pays. You know, for example, like that. And that's sad, because you were good at that thing and you can use it. You just don't know immediately how to now. And that's where teachers are right. You don't have to know what job you're going to have yet. You don't have to be certain. But you have to try and identify what you're good at. You have to try and identify what you love in life. And when teachers say, "Oh, it's fine, you'll discover your passion later," like, maybe, but why would you want to leave it till later? It's so limiting on young people, including me. Like, I was really annoyed when people told me, okay, you're good at English, so for example, you'll just be a writer then. And I was like, well, yeah, but that's not the only thing you can do in English. I also want to talk about kind of how you actually find your passion, because, for example, for me, like, I'm able to imagine my future the way that I want it to be, and I love, like, closing my eyes and just imagining how I want to feel in 10 years time, what I want to do, what I want my day to consist of. I'm able to do that. So for me, that was how I realized what I truly want to do. Just closing my eyes, like doing role plays in my head, like, where do I fit in? What kind of lifestyle I would love? What kind of people I want to interact with? And then the sphere and the area kind of found itself. And I think anyone can do that. Anyone can just close their eyes and think, okay, how do I want to feel? How do I want to use my skills? We all have skills. You all have skills. Like, everyone has a skill. It might not be swimming or riding. It might not be one of those skills that you think of when people say skills, okay? But everyone has skills, because otherwise you would not have survived this far, okay? So yeah, for me, it's like just imagining. My imagination is like my home. Sometimes when I tell my parents what I truly want to do, they're like, okay, but you are gonna have like a stable job, right? Like, you are gonna have like an actual job. And when people say actual job, they mean like a stable income. They mean something that you can fall back on, because people are scared of instability, and that is natural. I think that's adaptive, because we want to know that, here are our walls and this is gonna stay, and but in actual fact, if you want to be happy, you have to take risks. The saying that I love more than anything is that passion has a funny way of trumping logic. And that is so true, because sometimes we look at people we read about. By the way, follow Goalcast on Facebook. Like, otherwise, what are you doing? Follow them, because it's like daily doses of inspiration. But yeah, all those success stories that we hear about, those are people who defied belief, right? The reason we find them inspiring is because at one point in their life, nobody would have been able to predict that they will achieve whatever they did, and they defied our belief, and that's why we find them inspiring. But the trouble is, we shouldn't really think of them as special, because we all can defy belief, but we just need to be brave enough. If we love something and we want to do something, we need to make it happen for ourselves. We can't just be like, oh, well, I don't come from the right background, or, that all of that is excuses. It's all reasons, and we will find ways to validate them, and we'll be like, yeah, but that's an actual reason. Okay, I can't do that. I'll do something else. We can always validate excuses. We can always find ways to give weight to them, but that's easy, because all you have to do is think of an excuse, and if you've got an imagination, that's easy. But the harder thing is to say, okay, I'm actually going to do this. I'm actually going to achieve my dream. I'm actually going to do whatever it takes. I just want to finish off by saying that we basically just need to be educated to believe that anything is possible, and that we are insanely powerful. Wherever you guys are, I hope you're having a fantastic time. I love you all so much. Mwah.